boys? My name is Kulioshi, and welcome back to my 100% playthrough, yes, playthrough of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for Nintendo Switch. In the last episode, we made it through, what was it? The Band of the Sky, and now we're moving into the sealed temple. Sealed grounds.
Girahim managed to slip away in the chaos. Hoping to destroy Girahim and close the Gate of Souls, Link followed Fi's advice and hurried to the sealed grounds. The Hyrulean army advanced quickly in order to catch up to their quarry. And that was when Girahim sprang his trap.
Yeah, just so you know, in case you didn't already know, there was a trap. Okay. Alright. Okay, we defeated that. I'm going to move here. Oh, Gina, he's so slow. Fi is one of the worst characters to save, just so you know, if you're trying to do the storyline. Oh. Yeah, so as you can see, our allies have now turned on us, and there's not really a good way to do stuff. Despite that, I'm actually gonna go into the temple anyways, because there's a couple of things I need to find here. The first and probably most important part is there's a bomb somewhere here that we have to blow up. I forget. It's at, like, the northern central part of the map, or somewhere like that. It's kind of weird. Okay, I'm gonna get back out. Now more, and now's where it gets really tricky. So yeah, now we have to deal with lots of other stuff, and actually, I should be using this to get back to the middle. Alright. I'm gonna go into the side here. So, Fi gives you a little hint that the master of the turncoats is hidden in the keep setup. But, if you know how... But if you happen to know exactly where he is, which is in this keep, you could just take out this guy and that will literally defeat all of the trailers. That's obviously the fastest way of dealing with this, since dealing with that means we don't have to deal with the nonsense anymore. So now we could just go through and catch other stuff. Unfortunately, there's still lots of stuff to get. So it's still gonna take a little while because of a couple of our problems. So we still need to get our heart container and a piece of art, and I don't know where each of those are. I'm gonna take out these guys. And then port to the middle again. And we get a cutscene. Oh. The enemy, as the enemy figured out my plans. How unpleasant. Truthfully, I feel annoyed. They can't learn to follow my direction, then I shall do away with them. So now we get to deal with the true boss of this area, the imprisoned. And we will have to kill him first before we do anything else, because he kind of blocks our way. And in case you didn't already notice, yeah, Link is a little bit higher leveled. Last time we saw him, he was like only level 11 or level 12. I did some grinding off screen and he's now like level 31-ish. As with any of these games, they do other stuff. He says the Gate of Souls has revived his true Aster, but that's not gonna last for long. If we want to really kill these guys, we need to head down to this area and kill them. Something. So after you take out the imprison partially, I have already destroyed his toes, by the way. The game's telling me that he's doing other stuff, but really. Okay, so now we go to this area and just wait, and then the imprisoned will amplify its strength to destroy a keep, and then we're going to immediately take that out. Normally, I would probably try and defend the base right now, but there's not really a good time to defend the base, because if I just let the imprisoner run around, he's gonna eventually do it too. So, we're basically focusing on this. And you're basically going to wait until, eventually, after a little while. So, we get our West Cannon Keep, and we can use that to finally attack him. I don't know which is faster, but I'll try this strategy. Almost. The imprisoned, unlike some other bosses, has a ton of health overall and can take a very long time to take out. Darn it, still not enough. Just barely. Wow, that could still miss them. Okay. There we go. He's defeated. The mission gets much easier once the prison is defeated because that improves morale for all the Hyrulean forces around the area and also destroys most of the enemies. It, however, does not destroy stuff in the Allied base, which... This is one of the first levels where they really start getting difficult. I know we've already seen difficult areas from like a secondary spot, but now this is where it gets really difficult. And this is where I unfortunately am gonna have to actually start blocking the Oh. Okay, so this is the first really interesting side mission in the game. This is the first time where you could potentially avoid killing the assault troops. We, however, are going to kill them because, as before, they are the most brutal enemy in the game. Where's he gonna go? That's the real question. Where's he gonna go? I can't do anything while I'm doing this. I'm just gonna let this run out. Change to Phi and move down here. Assault troops are usually intended to the Allied base, essentially, and if you let them ever get to the Allied base, then what they actually do, I haven't really mentioned, but what these Allied troops or assault troops will do is they will reduce the health directly by around 25%. So, as you can imagine, if they all get to the base, then our base is basically dead. There's not really a better way to deal with this. If you want to do this a little bit faster, then one of my recommended strategies is to just go through all the other stuff. And now that we've dealt with that, we can go towards the area. Well, now the enemy base is open. I think this is a sealed weapon. Yeah. I skipped that, because I don't want to deal with that. This one I'm pretty sure I know where it is. Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's where it is. Ugh. My apologies if I'm taking a little bit longer to do this more than usual. Part of the problem is I'm still trying to find the heart container, but I'm also trying to deal with all of the red dots that go into the other stuff, and It gets really annoying when the allied base gets attacked, because then I have to go back to it, kill the stuff there, and... yeah, I think I might just actually have to do something more interesting. You know what? Link, you're gonna defend the base here. I'm gonna make sure of it. We're gonna command Link to go here. And then I'm gonna single-handedly use Fi to get to the next location. This is because Fi needs the heart piece here. Hang on. Allied base. Just to make sure he stays there, and then I'll actually take a small break here after I kill these moblins here. This is a much quicker mission. I could easily just go in and defeat Girium right now. I am choosing not to because I need the art piece. And also part of it is I'm trying to farm both items and experience from these areas. And you can't really do that. Oh, I see. Okay, so Girium needs to be defeated pretty quickly, because he's summoning more minions as we speak. Okay. Give a minute. I'm actually gonna pause this, and I'll be right back for just a few minutes. Right there. Alright guys, we are back. Sorry about that. Things are getting a little bit obnoxious. We're gonna use our warp with Fi and single-handedly move with Fi. And part of the reason why I'm even using this in the beginning and why I'm using Link at that spot is because I want him to single-handedly defend the allied base while I move with Fi to this spot, because this spot has a heart container that only Fi can collect. While we could take this out, it takes way too long, so instead we're gonna find a boulder northeast of this keep, blow it up with some bombs, and there's our heart container. Probably one of two. And now we can finally face off against Girium. My apologies if this took a little while. I'll try to route more of these heart containers into the actual run if I do this a little bit better. So yes, Girium is slowly summoning monsters from the Gate of Souls, and we need to go to him in order to defeat him. Okay. This should finish him. There we go. Thankfully, the actual fight was pretty quick, so that gets us back a little bit of time. I like how Fi single-handedly defeated him, and yet Link still deals the file board. And then suddenly Fi's still here. And Fi teaching Link the Skyward Sight again. And sure enough, there goes one of the Gatosos. Finally, after who knows how long, we got one of them down. Thankfully, this has a massive clear bonus. And we get a white sword, which is a slightly stronger sword. And now we get to really see some of the other stuff going through. Alright. Nice. We did that fully. And now I'm able to like place things power again. Yeah, I don't really care. I'm actually probably just gonna go to badge right. There's our final combo attack. And second special attack collage. Now that's really important. And part of why I'm only doing this for that weapon while trying to do our stuff is because the magic rod Link will eventually have to use as part of getting one of his special sheets. So we need to make sure they get extra stuff. Unfortunately, only one character in this next mission can get a heart piece. Despite having control of multiple characters, you still only get one in here. We'll start with the simplest, which is, Sheik. Impa doesn't actually have a heart piece here, so I'm going to use Sheik here. This will be our first time using this character here. We need bombs to get this. Sometimes you need a hook shot, but this one, not so much. Alright. Well, I'm gonna do this one.
Leading a small force of Hyrulean soldiers, Impa stepped
After this, I'm going to immediately delve to other stuff.
before her seemed like the Hyrule she knew, yet it was somehow very different. Before long, she realized that they had traveled back to the era of the mythical hero of time.
Yeah.
Awed, Impa began her search for the Gate of Souls. She sensed an evil presence on Death Mountain and set out for the ominous peak. And with her came the mysterious Sheik.
See what I mean? See what I mean? There's no extra setups here, even though Impa is in the area. You could have accompanied either Link or Lana. Why did you choose to follow me? I know. I can't figure you out. How much do you really know of the Sheikan tribe? Tell me, who is your tribe's leader? Impa. Impa, which would be you. Correct, and yet there is no one named Sheik in my tribe. So what does that make you? What are you really after? Hey, listen, Princess Rhea is in trouble. Oh, Princess of Azuras? She was abducted by the Gorons. Okay, that sounds bad. The leader Dronia used to be such a gentle soul. Someone named Zelda showed up, and he hasn't been the same since. Zelda? Princess Zelda is here? Let's go and see with our own eyes. Well, here we go. This is one of the more obnoxious levels to go through pretty fast because there are these guys that stun you and then you have to deal with this. So yes, the Gorons like capturing Boulder Keeps, and if they ever get access to one, this happens. They start using boulders to destroy the allied base. So before we can even do anything, the very first thing we have to do is capture one of these keeps so we can get through the barricade and get up to the top, since we can't just zoom up there due to the things being there. And we'll go ahead and take a marker here. Oh, and for some reason they can also hit you as well. Beyond that, though, we're basically just attacking every single one of these boulder keeps and killing it as soon as possible, because the sooner these get destroyed, the better. And this will be another sealed weapon, I think. Keep frying at their stuff here. Yep, a sealed weapon. Might be a completely new weapon. Now, by destroying that, the connecting gate opens up and we can do some more interesting stuff. Now, the enemies try to take this keep in a specific spot, but if you happen to kill these guys off, then you can kind of stop them from doing our stuff. I'm just gonna take out this captain real quick. The most obnoxious thing about this entire area is when you actually go to it, there's multiple times where you'll just not be able to really do much in this. And yes, we can't switch to everyone, so this is gonna be kind of a slow mission. And just so you know, yes, the West Boulder Keep does not get taken immediately, so if you're fast enough, you can take it back when the enemy is, before the enemies had a chance. A lot of these keeps we can skip, but until we do, the connecting gate will not open. So it helps to get these gates open, just so we don't have to deal with that. Beyond that, though, the entire mission is literally just another linear mess. There's nothing you can do to speed it up, nor is there a good way to make it go faster. As with many missions in this game, this one's sort of a seller. You basically kill off the regular opponents, and then once you deal with the rest, you kind of just have to do other stuff as you go on with it. Trying to kill this captain here. Use this to make it go a bit faster. Yeah, I don't care. Unfortunately, the keeps won't always be able to be taken right away, since there's not really a good strat for this, but yeah. Beyond that, though, Darunia kind of appears, and we have to take him out twice in this mission, otherwise we don't get a chance to do anything, so... The next part is literally us taking out Darunia. We cannot go very high at the moment. Okay, that didn't even give us the option. Okay. Unfortunately, as Darunia takes a little bit longer to kill, even on easy mode, where it's just normally not as hard to take him out. But, yeah, that's just the way this thing works through. And then the setup gets really obnoxious when the Keep Saboteurs come into play, because with one character, we don't really have a good way to do that. So we're basically forced to run in, kill this guy, and we kind of just have to let them do what they want for a little while, because there's not a way of dealing with this. I like how the game will say the allied base is at a risk of falling when really it's not. If you do ever get worried, you could just check battle log here or battlefield info, and you could check it manually. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, see, it's only really taking a little bit of damage. It's not actually that bad. Okay, here's the Keep Saboteur. He might be at the top. Wait a minute. I think he's at the top of that thing. Yep. For this next setup, it doesn't seem like we need to do anything, but I'm just blowing a little bit of time here because, well, obviously... And yes, there's not really a good way to defend the keeps. There's just so many Gorons that you're bound to lose a keep at least once, but... One thing you can do is move towards here and just kind of do some other stuff. Oh wow, the captain already came there. Wow, that didn't take long. That took less than like 15 minutes for them to get it. You can see how obnoxious the keep saboteurs are. The West keep falling is not as terrible because since we blotted them off, they aren't going for the important ones. It's more or less just obnoxious for this. And yes, the Golden Skulltula I think is actually on that corner area, which unfortunately you don't get access to immediately. You have to get access to that's known as the hook shot, and then you can actually deal with him. Also, Daria was really fast towards the keeps. I hardly had any time to capture a keep, and literally all I was doing was getting that done so that I can get a different setup for later. That's not the attack. Thankfully, after the second attack, if you take them out, the Geronia's forces will lose their morale if you happen to defeat them, so... Mysteriously, Impa's actually moving a lot faster than usual. Sometimes she gets stuck for a really long time, and you also need to remember that you have to actually capture that keep on the right at least once. If you don't, then things will just happen. Okay, here we go. Now we're gonna finish off the keep saboteurs to make sure they don't do anything. It's kind of unfortunate you don't really get a good chance to do much in this mission until after other stuff is done. And now he's gonna be really angry and try and take you out. Okay, there we go. Oh, now he does it. Alright. And this is what the warp will do. This is what the warp essentially does. And now we get to see the entirety of the Goron forces advance towards the ally base, but if we take out Darunia in a decent time, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now for the second part, and this is the part I probably should have just done while I was here, but I didn't really have much time to, because this mission kind of scares me a lot because of how a number of forces you have to deal with. Okay, there it is. So you destroy this rock just east of this keep, and there's your heart container for Sheik only. Only Sheik can get this. Alright, now we just go into the area and speed kill Darunia. There's no reason to take out any of the other forces. In fact, if we try and take out any of the forces, that'll just waste more time. So they'll even do like this bomb and chew thing, but if you're on easy mode, you could just rush and kill Darunia as fast as you can. So to defeat Darunia fast, we need to kind of get lucky and get some other stuff. Because we bought enough time, our ally base should never, fall. I like how Impa will still say, oh, we need to defeat the Bombchus, but because this is easy mode, we don't have to. If you're doing this on a harder difficulty, then I recommend defeating them, but for easy, there's no reason to even do that. You could just rush Darunia and make this way quicker on yourself. And because these are actually meant for the evil materials, none of these materials we get for the Gorons actually give us anything on our main characters. Instead, they are for the evil characters, including, Giriham, the other characters we fought, like Volga, and, more importantly, Ganondorf, which we'll probably meet later. But yeah. Well, there we go. Yeah, I don't know who caused this, I'll explain, but not until we leave this filthy mountain. Oh, boy. She literally called the mountain extremely filthy. Well, I guess that makes sense if they're gonna be that trolly. I'm yet to see Seek's animation for finishing level 2. Okay, so we still managed to get everything, though it wasn't really with the best stuff. Although I have watched 100% of this particular game, is not quite the same. Okay, we got an upgraded weapon for Sheik there in that slot. Oh, I see what that rock is for. That actually makes sense. You can only get that from the Gorons. So yeah, that's a thing. Okay, I'm going to go to Hyrule Field with Link, actually, because there are 2 items we didn't get the last time. Actually, hang on. Let's bazaar this. I think you're gonna smith this. We're gonna smith this with this. I probably should have just fused that into the other weapon, let's be honest, but I can't think of everything all the time. Alright. I think you're gonna go out with, just the white sword. I like how it shows Highland Sword, but it's actually the white sword. And we get to see a new cutscene you haven't seen. Siege to the kingdom of Hyrule. We never see this initially.
Led a valiant defense against hopeless odds. News of the Hyrulean army's imminent defeat reached the cadets at the knight's training yard. As the elite troops fell in battle, Hyrule's trainees were left to wait helplessly inside the castle walls. Despite the odds, one young knight took up his simple training sword and chose to fight. This brave young man was
named Link.
Compelled to act, he rushed to the monster-ridden battlefield to assist Zelda and defend Hyrule.
Open a treasure chest to get a heart container. Alright. In case you're wondering how we were initially going to clear out a lot of the enemies, this is how we were going to do it. Simply holding down the X button and then using the spin attack, which is by far Link's most overpowered command to kind of clear stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of this mission is about a speedrun. Normally, I wouldn't do this a little bit early, but because I did a couple of other stuff, I thought I would just do that. Okay. Okay. Beyond this is literally the same thing as before. You literally kill all of the monsters and then you kind of just wait. There's not a lot you can do to speed up this mission, unfortunately. Unfortunately, if you do this semi-tutorials on, then you'll be given tutorials every few minutes, and we already killed Volga because this game's mission's really easy. Not this one. I just realized where the chest is that I was looking for before. We need West Lock Face Keep and different thing, both of which are not actually hidden in the area, so we'll be doing the same thing as we did before, except now things will be slightly different the second time around. Unfortunately, the game still wants us to open a chest. We still have to go in here and do this. There's nothing we can do to save it. There we go. It just tells you a weapon and gives you a random weapon instead of what normally happens. I'm just gonna capture the Westfield Keep a little bit sooner this time. Make it a little bit better. I like how after all this, Zelda still hasn't gotten much experience. Even though we clearly probably got a lot more experience than that. Jesus, it's gotten like nothing. Oh well. I don't really care too much. This is the only time we have to really use Zelda. And now we can just use Link for the rest of the mission, making it a lot easier. Oh, we got a power-up from that one. Okay, this is where things are going to be a little bit interesting. I know the game will directly say, oh, you need to capture Eastfield Keep, or capture Westfield Keep, or do something else. Or do the other thing. Well, today we're not going to do either of those things. Instead, we're going to advance starting to this keep, known as the West Rock Face Keep instead. And once we clear it out, we will get our heart piece. And then we can bomb a chest just north to this for our heart container. You normally wouldn't want to clear stuff around here. It probably is just a tutorial mission. But if you actually follow the tutorial the full way through, you don't actually get a chance to get this. So, yeah. These enemies will get cleared later in explosion, so there's not really a reason to kill them, except for the enemies over there, since you need to for that 8. But beyond that, though, we just head to this leftward mission, which is a little bit different. We clear out Central Field Keep, and then we can deal with East Field later. And that'll get us through other stuff. Meanwhile, if you want to, you could just kill the Lysiphols as well, but those aren't really necessarily, they don't really give you much. Okay, so now we've captured the Central Field Keep. And thankfully, because the soldiers actually stayed true to their word, they actually did manage to capture East Field Keep on their own, which helps out a lot. Is there another magic jar? I really need that. Either that or to find a magic drop from them. Kill that so that they don't do other stuff. What I find kind of interesting is if you go a few minutes next to this area, there's like a bunch of troops in here, but there's also a bunch of ISL troops there that the first time you take a look at it, it looks really scary, but it's not actually that bad. If you just do a few spin slashes, that'll clear out everybody, and then they won't be able to do anything. So part of the reason why I want full magic is for the same reason I mentioned earlier. If you have it when you go towards Tame Dodonkel, you could just use that to skip his animation. And once Zelda and Link get to this specific spot, they start trying to cheat a little bit, and they make a rock face checkpoint appear. And you'll see they try and get stuck, and sometimes Link will even move backwards a little bit, but let's see if we can at least trigger the animation of this. Still not. Okay, there we go. That's one of the more obnoxious missions to get triggered of it earlier. Now he tells you to seal off. Now we actually have to seal off the northern gates properly. I just wanted to make sure that animation did stuff. Okay, there we go. Northern gates sealed. Alright, there we go. So we're literally trapping them inside their keep area and then just using the Great Fairy to destroy them all. In case anybody didn't see that the first time I did that. This session. Alright. Alright. Thankfully, as a speedrun, this doesn't take too long, so yeah. And just like I mentioned, I will not be taking any extra stuff. So now all of the enemies have been removed, mostly. I'm gonna put that out. Oh, that's not even a full jar, I think. Alright. Now's where the stall really begins. If we had done it like this the first time, it would have made it a lot easier. Here we go. Now he breaks through the gate. He's already trying to roll at me, which is not the best luck to start out with. Okay, there we go. That's what we could have done the first time. We actually did get the attack off against him, but if we were playing an easy mode, he would have killed him. Okay, there we go. Now we wait for the cutscene to play, so we're gonna have some fun and just show off where the enemy is coming from. We could have actually gone in here a couple of times, but I don't think Wizarl would actually attack us even if we wanted to. It'd be kind of funny though, just walk in, take the enemy base. Beyond that, this is just a tutorial mission and there's not a lot you can do to make it faster. Alright. Multiple cutscenes after this one mission, which I find to be quite interesting. Alright. I think we got another good weapon for Link, so let's badge market this. Well, Smithius, rather. Let's use our same base weapon as before. And take this one we just got with a strength attack of 4+. Oh, we can't do it multiple times. Let's do this hearts one. Hearts drop more easily. Okay. What do I need to train next? I'm still kind of confused. Yes, I am trying to train these level 1 heroes, but I don't really watch. Oh yeah, Darunia's gonna be next. Probably, so we're gonna upgrade him a bit. The most important of the train dungeon stuff is to get everybody from like level 1 to at least level 11, just so they don't do crap damage, and so they have more hearts. But beyond that, that's going to be the end of this video. I was going to initially do more, but then things kind of happened. So I'll see you in the next video where we continue playing through this game. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Lake Hylia next, by the way.